What's up, everyone? Welcome to ShockCast, episode 34. I didn't start off screaming this time, because I respect Giuseppe, who really hates that. As I said, welcome to episode 34. Joining us today, we've got, of course, Giuseppe.
Hello, everyone.
He's got a new cat. It's awesome. Haven't played with it, because he's in Italy. Also, Azario. How you doing?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, playing a lot of Persona?
No, not really, actually.
Really? I thought you'd be all
go.
over it.
I played for like 3 hours yesterday, but...
I mean, the Persona's been out for 6 months.
Yeah.
that's a fair point. Okay, so today is the April Fool's Day episode, I guess. It's not April Fool's Day. We're recording this on April 5th, but we want to talk about every year, of course, gaming companies and other companies do some sort of April Fool's promotions, some much better than others. We're going to discuss what our favorite ones were this year. And before we go into that, let me just start off. Thanks, everyone, for watching at the moment. We record this every Wednesday, or we try to, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Today we're starting off a little bit late because of technical difficulties. Thank you, Alienware. Thank you, Dell. So if you want to watch, be part of the show, come join us at twitch.tv/DualShockers live. And, of course, listen to the podcast.
My coffee is cold because of you, just so you know.
Yeah, my evening nap is going to have to be pushed back because of you, just
I don't
so
think
you know.
Evening naps exist. That's sleep.
It's definitely I definitely do them, so
Okay.
So I think
Yeah, me too, actually. So you're in the minority.
yeah.
Okay. So what are we playing?
What are we playing? That's a good question.
Lou, you start for once.
Yeah, Lou,
Wow,
you
that's
start.
new.
What are you playing, Lou?
All right, I'm playing Bullet Storm, that new full throttle. It's some new edition.
Really?
Yeah. I'm reviewing that for tomorrow, so that review hopefully.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
That's why you're playing it.
Yeah. That we'll just say that's why I'm playing it. Besides that, I've been doing daily games of Loot Rascals, which is
What?
that we're doing a giveaway for that soon. But it's really interesting. I'm liking it much more, and I only really play 10 or 15 minutes of it a day because it's a roguelite, so that's as much as you can get into it before dying.
What is that on? I've never even heard of this game.
It's PS4. It's animated by, or the person who did the art style is an animator for Adventure Time, and it's kind of like a turn-based roguelite with heavy math, which sounds awful. But I'm having a great time.
Wait. Heavy math or heavy meth?
Math. Yeah. You're doing
okay.
You're doing probability basically the entire time. In a pretty
that sounds
easy way.
Real.
But
did you ever used to play Math Blaster?
No.
Oh.
I have no idea what Math Blaster is.
The hell is that? Okay, that's fine. I'm not sure. Now we're pulling out obscure stuff with math, and I hate math. So, yeah.
Okay.
Next topic, please.
So what else we got? Azario, what are you playing?
Well, recently I decided to jump back in Tales of Berseria and try and do the post-game stuff. There's a few secret dungeons, and I wanted to collect some trophies that I was just like minutes away from before I completed the game, and so now I'm 100 hours into that game, and I think my review for it stands. I believe I gave it an 8.5. But I really respect it, and I'm glad that Bandai Namco kind of went back to the old Tales kind of style, and this game should have been Zestiria 2, and because it's connected to the same world. There's a few characters, maybe.
Is it more like Zestiria 0?
No, it's supposed to be like 2000.
I mean,
are there spoilers coming up?
Well,
no,
it's
it's
sequel of that one.
No, this is a sequel to. This was a sequel to Zestiria. I think it's like 2,000 years after Zestiria.
After, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I had it the other way around.
It's pretty cool though. I suggest playing both of them. I know Zestiria can get kind of boring a lot of parts, but at least play like maybe the first 5 or 6 hours and get the story and understand what's going on, because Berseria really brings all that together in a much better way that Zestiria did, and so it was nice
Which kind
returning
of
to
means
that.
that Zestiria sucks.
Zestiria is not that good. it's it's cool. It's like fun, I guess, but the story is not up to standards, I think, with
With
Tales of the series in the whole, and it's cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Berseria definitely fixed all the kind of plot holes that Zestiria introduced, and it's weird playing someone who's not your hero. You know, it's pretty interesting that Berseria gives you kind of an anti-hero, and that's rare for the Tales of series, because usually you're just saving the world. You know, like
Yeah, you're just starry-eyed little idiot. Which I actually don't think I ever liked a main protagonist in the Tales. I mean, I love the series in many ways, but the main protagonist has always been like the cookie cutter Mary Sue.
So
that I
basically, your
never
issue of Zelda.
I grew up
No,
a hero.
Zelda is worse than that. But you know, Zelda is worse than that because at least the Tales of Mary Sue guy as a personality, even if it's not that great of a person.
He's always
let's not get into that.
He's always like someone who was born and wanted to be a hero when he grew up, and I think
I want to be a hero.
And
which is the only thing that kind of worries me about the PS4 Grand Blue Fantasy that's coming out, because that's pretty much the thing that's there. But yeah, but that game is promising anyway for other reasons.
Yeah,
Giuseppe.
so I've been playing that,
yeah.
and I started Persona 5, but I'm sure that Giuseppe might want to say some things.
Yeah, Giuseppe, you're on it.
I've been playing Persona 5. I'm very late with the review because, spoiler, that our review copy came near late. So yeah, but we have it, and I've been playing it for quite a while now. And spoiler, it's great. I don't have any embargo, so I can say it, and fuck it. But I'm not going to tell you if it's going to be a 9 or a 10. Ha ha ha. So you know that. But mostly because I don't know it yet myself. It's not a perfect game, but no game is perfect, so that doesn't really matter.
Right.
There are a few things that sit a little odd with me in some points, but mostly it's a very, 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 very good game. Like I didn't say enough. It's like what I can say about that game. It's the thing that strikes you the most is how elegant it is. Like everything is super elegant, and even more than previous Persona games. Like not just the menus, the music, the graphics, the characters. Everything is like it melts together perfectly. So yeah, and it's a great experience. So I'm actually since you were late, I'm actually taking my time and making sure every little stone is turned. And then I've been playing a little bit of Con Exiles again, still, because I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm building. I'm pretty much using it as a fantasy Minecraft, building out my super big castle, and it's actually a lot of fun. I'm actually surprised for a game in early access how fun it is. And then I've been like dabbling a little bit with Fire Emblem Heroes still.
I can't believe you're sticking with that game. Oh my gosh!
But that's a time waster when I'm on the train. I mean, no other time waster came out for the train. So yeah, until something like that comes out, it's. I mean, I've been tempted to like find a way to download Grand Blue Fantasy on my phone, but you have to go through sideways to make it work.
You have to go through some hoops for.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably do it, and when I do it, I'm going to ignore Fire Emblem Heroes. But Fire Emblem Heroes has one thing going for it: the art is very good,
That's what I've seen.
All right.
and that's enough for 5 minutes time waster for me, because that's literally how long I play it every time I'm on a train or on a subway or something like that. Um, and then what else I've been playing? Not much actually. That's it. Like I think for now.
Persona takes up your life.
I would like
Yeah,
to say.
Persona. Well, it's super long game. Like it's not like anything surprising.
I would like to say that that I'm like 15 hours into Zelda on the Nintendo Switch, and I still haven't found anything fun about it.
Oh my god.
I
Well,
We're
hate
not
the
getting
I
back
hate
into this.
I hate I hate the little puzzles. They're just not long enough for me, and they're not gratifying. Like
well,
there's
when
a
you're gonna
scale.
honestly, I think Zelda is less a game for you, even less than it is for me. Like knowing you, it's already not a game for me, but it's even less for you. I
Yeah,
imagine that you wouldn't have liked it. I knew it. Knowing
I
you,
really
I would like it.
Okay.
I wanted to
Azario
like
is
it
not
though.
gonna like it as well.
I wanted to like it. That's
This
it's it's just not. I'm just not having fun. I don't want to. Like people are like, oh, stayed up till 4 a.m. playing Zelda, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want. I want to stay up late and I want to play Zelda, And I'm playing it in just like 30 minutes in, an hour in, and I'm like, okay, I'm in another dungeon. There's a horse. Weapons break.
They say
Okay, I
horse.
get it.
Sorry.
I I
No,
just
you say horses. Horses are actually what I absolutely loved in Zelda. Like they're really well made. Probably some of the best horses I had in the game. So that I can definitely appreciate that part.
All right, Azario, not everyone can get so infatuated with, I'm going to guess a game that you stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. to play Monster Monpiece. Not
I actually have a funny story about Monster Mom Piece on the Vita. I took it to a wedding with me,
Oh my
and while everyone was dancing, all the lights were out, everyone's slow dancing and stuff, and I'm in the corner on my Vita, jacking it off.
Oh, okay. Let's
But
move into the main
And
topic.
then
All
I
right.
realized what I'm doing.
Yeah, because you didn't realize it.
That's
Well,
my
luckily
Monty
you
story.
weren't doing something else and you weren't realizing it.
Game's on PC now.
Well, as long as you keep your pants on, it's still fine, I guess.
Yeah.
It was
We're
a
just
formal
jacking up
event.
Akita.
Okay, so let's move into April Fools. There were a ton of April Fools things. Even
So
stuff.
many, really.
No, but I mean, the surprising thing is,
No,
I
I mean
think there
there were
was.
many.
Yes.
Were really a ton. Every year is more because Japan has jumped into it.
Yeah.
April Fools wasn't very popular in Japan until like a few years ago, and now they jump into it, so basically doubled it.
All right, so let's start listing off what our favorites are, why. I think I think I already know what Giuseppe's is going to be, but go ahead.
Well, mine actually is an April Fool that ended up having something serious, which is the one Sega did. They basically published 8-bit Bayonetta on Steam, and it was like and everyone was okay, it's an April Fool, and it kind of was. But if you put together all the pictures of the Steam achievements of the game, there is a picture of Bayonetta with a URL, and that points to a countdown, and it's still up. So I'm guessing it's not an April Fool because it's the countdown side is still there, and it's like in 4 or 5 days now. And it's probably going to be Bayonetta on Steam, the first one. Of course, there is no confirmation yet or anything, but since the URL was on Steam, I'm gonna guess that's the case, most probably. But yeah, that was very clever. That's my
That is.
favorite for the moment. Azario, I'm pretty sure what yours is.
I did. I I actually agree with you. I really liked the Bayonetta kind of announcement. I love when developers or publishers don't take our intelligence for granted and they put stuff in there and then everyone kind of as a community figures it out. And it's just fun stuff like that, like the whole puzzle thing. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean the best thing about April Fool, the good ones, are three elements for me. One is that you get something to actually play. I mean, there's a lot of April Fool they actually have full games. Like for instance, they're like a kind of a precursor of this is Wargaming. They always do some like special crazy level. Like this time they had Mars in World of Tanks. So it's actually playable. So that's a good thing. Another one is that it needs to be credible. Like if it's an April Fool and you immediately say, oh yeah, it's an April Fool, obviously. It doesn't have any kind of realism. It's fun, it's cool, and you laugh, but I think it's less quality. Third one is that it actually has to have, well, it doesn't have to, but if it actually leads to something real hidden behind the April Fool, like the Sega one, it's nice. But yeah, that one kind of fit all the checks, like
all the check boxes for good.
Yeah,
April
actually,
Fools.
well, it wasn't realistic, I guess, because 8-bit Bayonetta, okay, it's immediately like, but it had like this meta thing behind it I actually really liked. What about you, Lou?
If I had to pick my favorite one, I actually really liked, at least in the gaming community, I really liked Call of Duty's April Fool's one, which was they basically, if you're interested in Gary's mod like games, there's Prop Hunt, uh, and they kind of brought that into an online multiplayer mode where essentially what would happen is it's six people, 6 versus 6 in Call of Duty online multiplayer. The 6 people on one team have guns. The 6 people on the other team can uh, basically possess different objects like garbage cans or tables or something. So it's kind of hide and seek, and you can move the tables and as tables and garbage cans. You can move uh, twice or 3 times, I think, to shift to different objects. And it's so popular now that there's kind of like an uproar in the community that they want it to be a permanent feature, just because of how wacky yet fun that is.
Mhm.
But that goes back to it. I mean, it's not really, they weren't necessarily tricking something. They were just doing a less serious version of themselves, and it had value. It had value beyond just being like my least favorite one, which was Turtle Beach's feed bag attachment or something.
They
Uh,
get silly.
yeah, like I get it. Like it's quick marketing stuff, and it's kind of funny. Maybe it gives like you smile a little bit, but I think that those are a dime a dozen now.
Yeah, the same thing. Like the Nvidia one is pretty much the same. They made this like thing that plays itself, like a mini G4s that plays the games for you. Yeah, those things can be good for jiggle, but yeah, you wonder why they wasted the resources to make that, because it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like the Bayonetta one, but that wasn't necessarily my favorite. I have two favorites really, and the first one I'll say is Marvelous's Center on Kagura for mobile, and only because I thought that it was real, and like I'm like, this could be real. We're 8 hours, or I'm 8 hours behind.
Well, there is Center on Kagura for mobile. So yeah.
But I thought Estival versus on there. It's there is in Japan, right? I'm sure there's
There is one. It's the new characters are actually, there are some new characters from that actually in Beach Slash.
Yeah, and I really liked what our cover photo is. Episode Kenny for Final Fantasy, only because I also thought that was not a joke.
Really?
because as a joke, some other sites did like joke reviews on it, so I was already thinking like, what is going on?
Okay. Come on, that was obvious joke. Come on.
Right.
I do like I did like the videos and stuff that they had of Kenny, and I always saw that stupid bird around town and took pictures with him. So it was funny that
I mean, with Square Enix, you never know. But
yeah, they kind of brought him back, and it's a character in the game that I thought I only had experiences with it, but then I found that other people did too, and it's pretty cool.
well, I kind of like the other one with the other two that they did with Senra Kagura. One was like actually like Marvelous Japan, and the other one was Marvelous West, and well, actually Exceed, but it's still Marvelous.
Yeah.
Marvelous has all these like branches. So yeah, they have Marvelous Japan, they have Marvelous Games, which is in Europe, and they have Exceed, which is in America. But yeah, anyway, like the one they did in Japan was like the Sayuri, the old lady, which transforms into a girl, but they only have the girl version in Senra Kagura Flash. Well, I mean, how many years ago that game came out? That game came out 1 million years ago. Come on. So, in any case, that one, they actually made the old lady into Pitch Flash, which is pretty disgusting.
I love.
I was surprised. I was surprised by how many people actually told me in the comments. No, but there are people that like this kind of stuff.
I'm into it.
For you. Good for you. I mean,
yeah,
I don't
judge. There's a game for everybody.
Yeah, I don't judge. There is people that like a lot of stuff. I mean, that was pretty for me. But then, in any case, that was kind of predictable, I guess. The moment in which they didn't put that character in the game, I was sure that they would have used it for some kind of joke. And in fact, they used it. But I mean, they went out of the way to make the art and everything, and it was pretty fun. But the other one was, I mean, it wasn't very well made, I guess. The one that Exceed did with the making fun of like bad localization and voice acting and whatever, because it was obviously made quickly just for fun, but I mean it's struck home because there is a lot of stuff like that. So and it actually made me giggle.
Definitely growing up, 4 kids did a lot of it.
It's not just for kids. It's so like all those
ghost stories.
Atlus, not even just old games from Atlus, the old ones. Like Atlus now has improved a lot with voice acting. They are still not good according to me. But my standard for voice acting are a little higher because I actually worked on it when I was younger.
Right.
I wasn't doing the voice acting; I was doing the supervision. But still, I worked for like 5 years in localization of anime, so I did a lot of supervision for voice acting. I worked for a company that like was super fanatic here in Italy. So they absolutely like they were even more fanatical than me and actually preserving the original to sound good in Italian. I was like, really? Do we have it to do it this way? But in any case, and the voice acting was top notch. Like they spent a ton of money for that. So I kind of have.
I always like the times where like when say like Trails of Cold Steel was coming out and people were talking about the English localization for that. They were saying how bad it was, but I played the game and like English localization for me. I kind of warm up to it after I spend so much time with it.
It becomes endearing for you.
Yeah, I kind of like it, especially with 999 actually just implemented English audio into the game, to the re-release of the game on PlayStation 4 and Vita and PC.
I don't even want to imagine how bad that is.
Oh, it's so good. I think because those characters are just so over the top and their personalities are so like out there that the voice acting works so well. And I mean, what's his name? The guy Noctis is in there. They have some good stuff. They got some good characters.
Wait. Are you using the voice actor of Noctis as an example of a good one?
He's good. I like him.
Is like very average. I mean, it is not a bad voice actor, but is not one of the top notch.
Oh, he's not. He's not. Okay, but he's up to my standards.
Okay, I don't mean that he's terrible. And unfortunately, Final Fantasy 14 also suffered from a very liberal localization. So yeah, it's not all his fault, but the voice acting was decent. I'll say decent because they had a higher budget than usual. Voice acting depends a lot on budget, so because the more budget you have, the more time they have, the more takes they can do, and all that. We're digressing anyway. But yeah,
I think the next localized game that I'll be looking forward to for the audio is Akiba's Beat, and they have a ton of recorded audio for that game. So I'm excited. I'm curious to hear what it sounds like in the final product. Just because this is like the Xseed's biggest audio recording.
I've been playing Persona 5 in English at the beginning because when I started, they didn't have the Japanese one yet.
Yes.
And my God, the difference is so big. The English one is.
Did you switch it to Japanese?
Good. Of course.
Yeah.
People say the English one is pretty good, but it's not.
Is it just
There's some
maybe
characters that are really
comparatively it's just good?
Some
words that they Japanese.
Yeah.
Comparing to some Japanese games, yes, it's better definitely. But yeah, it's if you compare it to the good English, it's not that all English voice acting is bad. Like if you look at things like the big ones like Uncharted and stuff like that, they have a super big voice acting budget with star level voice actors.
Yeah.
Those are great. But unfortunately, the budgets just are not there because voice acting depends directly on budget. How much money you pump into it, that's how good it's gonna be. There really isn't much about that because voice acting depends a lot on how many takes you can make of a line. And voice acting, the cost of voice acting depends on the talent you get and on the time you give them.
So everyone should just hire Nolan North.
No, not just Nolan North. There's a lot of talent out there, but they cost a lot. They're very good one. They cost a lot, and not just it's not just the good ones. It's not just the talent. It's how much time you give them, and that's directly impacted the voice acting. A great director with great artists can't do much if they can't make multiple takes of each line. And if when you rush for time, which is always the case for smaller production, which is always the case for Japanese games, there simply isn't a way to make it really good.
I'm so amazed by how big Persona 5 is.
Oh yeah, Persona 5 is super big, and which is also the case. Which is also the fact that they had to keep the budget in check.
Yeah.
To make it so which means that the voice acting is not going to be as good as it could. But we digressed a lot. Let's go back to Senran Kagura.
Right.
To Senran Kagura's April Fool, and yeah, that was good, not because it was very well made or anything, but simply because it struck home. Because those voice acting, that kind of voice acting and that kind of localization, not only it existed, but in certain cases it still exists. Yeah, and it came from a company that kind of can afford a little bit of a high horse because they're not perfect, but they tried to do a very good job with it. They still need to pull some stops, in my opinion, but at least they do better than most, let's say. And then let's see which one. Anyone else has any other good ones?
Yeah, I got one. It's not necessarily my favorite one. It's just one that I would actually want to buy if it existed. The Black Desert Online sent out
the whiskey one.
Yeah, I would love to buy. I mean, I'm just down for buying Scotch whiskey.
That was obvious.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's a good one. I'm just saying I'd be down to buy Scotch whiskey based on a video game.
Okay.
In Japan, they actually do that with wine. When a game releases, they'll release a special wine with like a label on it and stuff. It's pretty cool.
They have it. You can spend like $10,000 for the super special Final Fantasy 3rd anniversary wine if you want.
Oh yeah, you can.
I don't know if I'm willing to put that down.
Have it at your wedding, Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be,
You can afford splurging a little bit for once.
Yeah, splurge, man. Have some fun.
I think you're supposed to splurge after the wedding. Anyway.
But
What?
oh,
Oh,
let's get
come
back
on.
on track.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Shanti.
come on.
Did you guys see the Shanti one, the
Yeah, see
demake?
that one.
How they changed everything from being the 2D like NES look to like even further, like we're talking Atari kind of. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I like seeing what they're saying. Nothing's gonna trick us much anymore. I think everyone knows April Fool's coming up. That's why you need to get something fun with it. That's why you need to get like a new game mode, or you have to get a new game like Bayonetta uh, to actually make a strong impression.
Yeah, I didn't like that ukulele rap, guys.
I don't think that was an April Fool's thing.
Wait,
I cringed.
did you call Bayonetta a new game?
What? The 2D version.
No.
You call Bayonetta a new game? It was
No,
like what?
the 8-bit version was a
Yeah.
it was released with Bayonetta 2,
Oh,
but it was a
really?
browser
Okay.
game. It was a browser game.
Got it.
Okay, yeah.
And then
I
they
thought
brought
you meant like the original Bayonetta was a new
No.
game. Yeah, it was a new game like 10 years ago.
What were we just saying?
Yeah, so I hated
We're
the
talking about
The ukulele thing. I don't think that's an April Fool's thing. That's just their promotional video.
No, I'm pretty sure it's an April Fool's thing, and I think it was cringy as fuck.
I'll look this up right now.
Okay,
I have no idea what you guys were
checkers.
talking about.
Fact checkers. Like I get it, it's like the DK rap, but somebody had to record that. Someone had to write it. Someone had to sit there and write it.
It was literally just ripped out, I think, of the DK rap. Like, it had the same beat. It sounded like it was in the same key. I was surprised how much like the DK rap it sounded.
Why do I like the DK rap so much more?
Nostalgia. Come on, tell me if the DK rap came out, it wouldn't be a full body cringe at this moment.
Yeah, no, it would. Anytime someone expresses their love for a series, it's like already considered cringe. So don't get me started on the first trilogy of Hyperdimension Neptunia, because I'll run this ship to the ground, you guys.
All right, so how about bad April Fool's Days things?
Anything that had to do with pets. I think
I
Amazon did one. I think
we're talking about
Gaming
like
related.
video games. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually don't remember very super bad ones.
Uh,
I guess. Well, besides mostly the ones from like a hardware manufacturer. I
Yeah.
guess they're bad, like Nvidia, like Turtle Beach. You say those are not that good because they tend to try to showcase their product anyway.
Oh, do you know what was actually a really good one? And I only found this by accident because, spoiler alert, or a peek behind the curtain for people who don't regularly write for video game outlets, and I don't imagine many do. On the weekend, you're kind of fishing around for news. Weekend coverage is a little difficult.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's the best time to get news.
And if you ever notice, that's generally when the more obscure games are covered because you don't have professional PR agencies working during the weekend typically. So I was working on a game, writing news for a game called Hellpoint. It came out with a green light trailer and all that, and it basically is a co-op Dark Souls in space. Interesting. Not as nice looking, but they did an April Fool's thing that I actually loved. They said they were releasing a demo, and then when someone went to go download the demo, it starts up like the game. You start it, and a big golem like creature just comes and like knocks you into space, and that's it, and it's just game over. And I was like, all right, I could deal with that for a small Steam name production.
Did you uninstall it shortly after?
Yeah, because it was a substantial file, I think.
Yeah, it's like 50 gigs of malware. April Fool's, bitch.
Now we have all your information forever. The one it's not necessarily gaming related, but the one that I really didn't enjoy because it's lame and they copy it from like a previous year was Google's. Google Maps turned their thing into Mrs.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, and they had
Wow.
done that like 2 years ago, and it's even worse for me.
No, Lou, they didn't. That was regular Pac-Man. Now it's
Whatever.
Mrs.
Wow,
Pac-Man.
man.
Everyone needs to be
Oh,
represented, Lou.
So I live on basically a straight line street, uh, with no road. So when they zoom out in Google Maps, it's still just a straight line. So I just had a Pac-Man game where the ghost came straight at me because they came from the
Okay.
opposite side. It was
Were you traumatized?
I have nightmares still to this day.
You could go anywhere on Google Maps. Did you know that?
Yeah, but I don't like
Like
that
the
my
whole
hometown.
world. You can go to Giuseppe's house and play Pac-Man there.
I didn't know he lives in a
No,
house.
thank you.
I was thinking like igloo or um
Okay.
another if we're going off of non-gaming kind
no.
of gaming things. I wrote a feature, an editorial on this, and it was Reddit's, which was half gaming, half social experiment, called Place. It was a subreddit, and it was extremely interesting. It was kind of the internet personified on a 1,000 by 1,000 pixel grid, and there were faction wars, uh, there were onslaughts. It was very different, and I don't even know if it was necessarily an April Fool's thing or it's just something they released on April 1st. But it's since closed. I highly recommend you go check out the editorial and how interesting it was. But go ahead. I don't want to go too much on non-gaming things.
Well, I guess we can wrap up. Unless anyone has anything else, we can move on to the next segment.
To
Let's
Persona.
move
Anyone
on.
has anything they want to move?
I want to move on.
Let's move to Persona. I want to talk about that.
Well, let's move to our 8-bit idiot, which we didn't have for a while, but we had a lot of idiocy this week. So yeah, we're gonna back to our 8-bit idiot, which is the introduction, because that's the politically correct like introduction, and I don't like saying politically correct things. So you do it.
Sure. All right. So 8-bit idiot is a small segment we infrequently run, where we highlight a dumb move in the industry. And listen, everyone has their bad days. I have my bad days. Giuseppe has his bad days, even though
I
it's
don't.
perfect.
Don't you include me? Don't you include me?
I
Uh,
don't have bad
never-
days. I smart
I
every day.
never have a bad day.
so everyone has their bad days. Everyone makes their mistakes. Everyone has something that can blow up into a big PR move. And we're helping to highlight other people's versions. We don't necessarily think they are dumb or we hate them as a company. We just want
Debatable.
to magnify this and talk about an issue at large. So the
Hmm.
issue at large today is Persona 5's streaming restrictions. And they came out with a comprehensive list. I want to hear Giuseppe talk. Go.
Well, you can stream the game until day 7, and if you don't, you're
That was a hostile.
Listen, I
thing.
know where Giuseppe's gonna go with this, but let me just tell you guys that I am okay with this move by Atlus.
You suck.
You know,
Get out.
and not just my inflammatory attitude where I want to argue about everything and be on the opposite side. Okay, because I know I do that sometimes. I understand that
Devil's
about
advocate.
myself. But I will tell you that as a game creator, they have the choice whether they want Tony plays Persona, you know, like YouTube channel and his 1,000 subscriber list, whether they want him to stream their game or not. And
Well, that's something that you can impose to press because you gave them the copy, but there is definitely something you can't say to someone that paid for your copy for your game. That's
like there are games that still do this and no one says anything about it. The thing about Atlus, what they did was they came out and said, hey, we don't want you doing this. But all the Tales of games, all the Tales of games,
nicely. They
all the
shouldn't. They
Bandai,
should not. They
most
should not demand it or threaten.
most of Bandai
That's something you
Namco's
can
games
ask.
turn off the recordings, and nobody says anything.
They turn off the recordings, but they don't give you a strike if you.
They don't go DMCA on it.
That's the problem. The problem is not that they turned off the recording. Turn off the recording is fine. It's silly because you turn off a big promotional vehicle that works a ton. Just think Final Fantasy 15. That I'm sure at least 5% of the copies of the game, which is a lot of copies, were sold just because of how many Promptus pictures has been uploaded all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
you can absolutely turn off the recording stuff if you really want. That's silly, but you can. The problem is when you tell people, when not only you ask them nicely to not spoil the game, which is fine, but you threaten them, and that's the issue. That's something you shouldn't do because they're paying customer. They pay for the game. They're not pressed and give them an embargo or an NDA that they have to respect.
I want to throw this out to you, Azario.
Throw it out to me, Lou.
Let's say Nintendo is the one making this restriction. They're saying
they always do.
Oh,
I know.
Burn Nintendo. Close them down. Shut the doors. If they did this, I would be. No, I'm just joking.
I know, but
they're really kind of good.
I know
Nintendo sucks for this.
Nintendo frequently
already
does this.
DMCA's everything, so
they
but
are.
That's not something that's unknown. Like everyone on YouTube riles about this.
Yeah, most streamers
Right.
don't stream Nintendo games anymore because they take all their money.
Yeah, no, and I'm not going to argue that. I think that's a bad move. As a person who actually very much likes Nintendo, that's a dumb decision.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm reading a lot of comments in even our articles or articles online about this, and there's a lot of people stepping up and defending Atlus over this, and I think it's because they like Persona.
Defending them, I didn't see any.
Yeah, dude. These YouTubers.
I've seen
these
only
YouTubers?
one person defending them.
Only one. I didn't want to get
only
into
one
the
person,
weeds
and
of it.
it's someone I don't care about. So it's a developer, and I don't really care about that person. I'm not even gonna name her.
Well, you try to stay out of the comments section as often as possible, so that's good for your mental health. But there were some people in the comment section who are actively defending Atlus's choice, and that's because they don't like the fact that streamers are spoiling the game. But the spoilers exist otherwise.
The problem is not Atlus. The problem is not Atlus.
It's not
first of
Atlus.
all, it's not just a matter of Atlus. It's something that you see a lot with Dark Souls games, for instance. There is this spoiler psychosis. Some people really think everything is a spoiler, and they get really up in arms when they hear, even if something like you post a trailer, so the developer itself doesn't think it's a spoiler, they will insult you in the comment. It's not marked. So some people, they're paranoid for spoilers.
I don't think
that those are a minority.
I think the whole spoiler thing that they said was a cover up, and I think what we should be paying attention to is the bottom where they say the masters in Japan kind of controlled this. Sega actually
I don't think
did
Atlus
this.
USA. I don't think Atlus US. No, it's not Sega. It's Atlus. Believe me, because
Sega
I received strikes.
No, Sega did this
Before.
with the new Hatsune Miku game. You cannot stream the new Hatsune Miku game.
That's different reasons though. They do
That's
that.
different.
That's
It's
because
because
but that's just another excuse.
No, I don't think
No,
that's
it's
an
not
excuse at
excuse.
all.
music is normal.
Because
It's
how
industry
can
standard.
you say it's about spoilers? What does Atlus
It's not. No, they
have
didn't.
to
They didn't
gain?
say it's
How,
because
what
of
is hold on,
spoilers.
what does Atlus as a company have to gain or lose from
Sorry,
people,
shut
from
up.
gamers talking about the
Sorry,
game, from
shut up.
spoiling the game?
We're talking about Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
Tsunemiku
saying that Sega
music.
has done this
That's
before.
licensing. Yeah, but that's the licensing issue.
Right.
There's
Every
licenses with Persona 5 as well.
we're talking about you brought up Tsunemiku as an example, and that doesn't fit
as the
because
reviewer,
As the
can I
same
talk about
company,
this?
Tsunemiku.
as the same company.
As a reviewer, let me talk
Yeah,
about
but
this
it doesn't fit.
because I'm the one who reviewed it and I had to speak with John Harden about it specifically. John said that they're 100% fine with people streaming the game, and they didn't disable functionality for that. The issue is that they disabled the audio because it's other companies who have those
Yeah, exactly.
licensing rights.
Okay,
So you're going to get copyright strikes not from Sega or not from whoever else. You're going to get it from the music companies.
I
And
get this, but me bringing this up is to say that Sega has done this before, where
But they
they've
haven't
submitted
because it's not the same
DMCA's.
case.
They've submitted DMCA's to streamers for
Yeah,
other
but that,
games.
that he hasn't because it's not the same case, so it doesn't fit. You can't compare apple to oranges. It's
Okay,
not it's
but
not
other
Sega
Atlus
anyway.
games,
It's
other
Atlus. It's
Shimigami Tensei games
I
are okay to
I
stream.
received I've not they're not. I received copyrights right from Atlus Japan before they were a part of Sega. They
So
just are. Atlus Japan is just very, it's just very
neurotic.
up in arms about that kind of things. Yeah, they're kind of paranoid. That's Atlus themselves. Yeah.
But again,
I
my kind of statement to this is it's their game. If they don't want someone streaming their game, they have every right to say no. Nintendo has every right to say no.
no, they don't.
As
I
a
mean, yeah,
company,
but it's
as a
stupid.
company, it's their product. If
So?
if you published a game, if you developed a game, you should have complete control over that game. Say if you make a movie,
There
do you
is a
want your
there is
movie
a there
streamed?
is
You
a
want your movie
law
streamed on the
that's
internet
called.
for everyone to see?
All right,
If you
I
make
think
a
First of all, there
movie,
is a
if you
law
make a
that's
movie,
called fair
if you
use.
if you make okay, if you make a movie, you don't want your movie streamed on the internet. If you make a game, you don't want your game streamed on the internet. That's your choice.
First of all, there is a law that's called fair use. So, and Nintendo actually goes against fair use regularly, and that's law. So let's put a break on Azario because when Azario starts, it never stops.
all right.
Uh,
Can I put in my 2 cents
Go
really
ahead.
quick? I think I'm gonna bridge the gap here. I'm gonna say yes, it's their right to do this for most cases, unless it's fair use, in which case it's not. But it's their right where they could say we don't want you streaming the entire game on the internet. I don't think it's a smart move. I think it is free advertising. I think
Is it?
part of
it is.
what made Rocket League as popular as it is partially because people were going online and streaming games. Also, it doesn't carry the same properties as movies because movies is always, watching a movie is always a passive experience. Whereas playing a game, that's input that you are not actually getting. You're watching someone else play it, but you're not getting the full experience compared to watching a movie streamed. That's just my
Right.
2 cents on it.
In any case,
I
the
agree,
simple fact
but-
is that we're not talking legal rights here. Legal rights is a different things. There is legal rights. There is being you absolutely can be totally in your legal rights, but you can also be stupid while being in your legal rights, and this is stupid. This was made stupidly. It was worded stupidly. It was implemented stupidly. I'm not saying it's Atlus USA's fault because it's probably not. That's probably a directive that came from Japan, and I'm pretty sure it gave the Atlus USA guys quite a lot of headaches as well. But it is making people angry at you for no reason, because Persona 5. Don't ever tell me then anyone that really wants to that wants to buy Persona 5 is going to not buy it because someone streams it, because they're gonna see it on YouTube. That's so not going to happen. People have been waiting for this thing for ages. It's not even a possibility.
I agree, and I want to bring up to the question is why Persona 5? It's okay to stream Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse. It's okay to stream their other games.
Because
I
it's their
think-
money maker. Because it's their money maker, and they're afraid.
Yeah, it's
Aside from
gotta-
the fact
it's-
that aside from the fact that they have been sending copyright strikes before for other games, they just didn't say it, but they did because I received them. I know they only actually I received 3 copyright strikes in my whole time on YouTube. They were all from Atlus. Just saying.
Dalo, really quick, I want to just point out a comment. He's on the opposite side. He says, for me, if you block a lot of my share features on my PS4, you block a major part of my PS4 that I enjoy. And because of that, he hasn't bought a lot of Bandai Namco games, for instance. So it's having the
Yeah, but
opposite
the fact
effect.
is that even outside of spoilers, just blocking the screenshot feature is bad. Like screenshot feature is great. It's one of the best things that the PS4 has. I have no problem with that because I have an
themes, the
Elgato.
new custom themes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
the screenshot feature is awesome, and that's one of and people love to do that. People love to take screenshots, and even if you don't let them like post big movies, screenshots should be allowed. And incidentally, blocking the screenshot feature, the screenshot and video feature of the PS4, actually is not gonna block the people that post the whole game on YouTube. Because the people that post whole games on YouTube, they have Elgatos. They don't use the built-in PS4 features. Who does that? It's in 720p and it sucks. Uh, every single person that has a channel on YouTube that does Let's Plays as an Elgato or whatever capture card that goes past your block. So what you do by blocking the screenshot feature and the streaming feature of the PS4, like the built-in ones, is blocking the ones that are going to post some content, like some very small content that would work only as advertisement for you on social media and would not spoil stuff, not in any major way. So that's dumb.
I can say without a cause that blocking the screenshots it's a little much, especially when trophies now every trophy you get takes a screenshot.
Yeah,
and,
every time I get a trophy, I get a fucking pop up that I can't.
Yeah, I actually turned that notification off just because I was tired of seeing it.
The funny thing is that I think I turn all notifications off, so I don't get the notifications of the trophy, but I still get the notification of the screenshot that can be taken. I don't think that can be deactivated. If it can't, I didn't find it because I turn everything off, and I still get that, and it's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, I don't see it anymore, thankfully.
So yeah, I guess there is a way, but I don't know how it's done, and I don't want to have to dig in my PS4 not to see it. But that's stupid as fuck.
So
okay,
come on.
One rumor that I heard kicking around, I don't believe it one bit. I want to run it by you guys. Even so, we could just poo-poo it right off the bat.
Was this off of 4chan?
No, it wasn't off of 4chan.
Okay.
But one rumor I saw floating around in comment sections and even on NeoGAF, I think, was that they couldn't work in the functionality to the code because it was a PlayStation 3 game.
What the fuck? No, wait. I just saw something. So stop. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
No. Let me tell you.
Imposes video streaming restriction on Puyo Puyo Tetris. But this must be a joke. It's not.
Well, let me tell you that's probably not true because other games like Koei Tecmo and Bandai Namco have been doing it for the PS3 and their PS4 games. So
right.
I'm sure Atlus Japan. I'm sure they know how to do that.
If not,
true. Sony would have paid them to do it.
Giuseppe's going nuts. We should just listen to what Giuseppe has to say.
Wait. This is actually true.
All right,
Sega just put on the Japanese page of Puyo Puyo Tetris, they just published restriction for streaming and sharing Puyo Puyo Tetris footage. Puyo Puyo Tetris, really?
Yeah, they don't want it spoiled. That's a heartwarming story of friendship and love.
Okay, wait. Play videos can be used in the following places: your personal and non-profit blog, or page, social network, and Twitter. Video posting site. However, it cannot be used if the blog post in place fall under the following: blog, website, commercial purposes, obscene, violent, otherwise contrary to public order and morals. Okay, so you can publish it if it's not commercial or obscene, I guess. Play videos, including play videos, the recorded relation correspond to, including, you can? Oh, come on. Copyright of play movie belongs to the rightful right holder.
This is the worst.
Okay.
This is the worst radio I have ever been a part of. I'm ready. I'm ready to call it, Lou.
All right, wait. So let's just continue.
Oh, wait. So basically, Puyo Puyo Traitist, you can stream it, but it's not. You don't have to stream it like you can't use it for commercial purposes.
Oh well, that's obvious. Why would you?
Yeah, I mean, why would you? So basically, you can do Let's Play on like with advertisements of Puyo Puyo Traitist. I mean, why? I mean, not to say that it sucks.
It's because those characters are so emotional, and it's a great story.
All right.
Okay, I'm a bit baffled about this. I don't get it. But
I say it's up to the dev. Make it up to the publisher. Make it up to the developer. If they want their money, give them their money. If you don't want to support it, then voice your opinion. By all means, voice your opinion, and hopefully they'll listen.
I mean, that's the state of affairs right now. It's not,
it's not that you can do anything about it.
Developers do have the choice, and we do have the right to complain, and that's what we continue to do. That's what we're doing at this moment.
But they're still gonna buy that game.
We don't really do any streaming, so it's not like we don't really do any streaming, so we don't really have a horse in the race.
No.
Personally, I can sympathize with people that want to stream a game, especially if they are paying customers.
I just don't think I like streamers, guys. That's
your problem. I mean, I don't like weebles.
You got to accept media.
Biased.
All right. Do we have any other? Because I heard there were rumblings.
Yeah, we do have more. Do have more 8-bit idiot stuff, which is still about Persona anyway. So basically, people are complaining because Persona 5 doesn't have a. No, there's no spoilers. Don't worry. Doesn't have a female. I don't think it's a spoilers that Persona 5 doesn't have a female playable protagonist.
This is 2017, Giuseppe. Everyone needs to be represented. And if you don't check all the checkboxes in every game, then you're gonna be crucified. It's over.
I mean, this is absolutely dumb. I mean, I understand the want of having a female protagonist in many games. I love female. I mean, my three of my favorite games of the past few months have had all female protagonists. One was Horizon Zero Dawn. The other was Nier Automata, and the other one was no. But that's still a female protagonist for me. That's a fruity protagonist. And the other one was Gravity Rush 2. Actually, counts by 2 because the DLC also I loved it, and another protagonist. That was even better than the original one, by the way.
This actually comes into hey, this is the story. These writers want to tell a story, and this is who they thought would best tell the story. They say the protagonist doesn't talk. He could have been played by anyone, and that's wrong.
He's not a blank slate protagonist. Yeah, people say, "Oh, he's a blank slate, so it can be a female." No, it's not. He has a past. He has a look. Like he has a very specific look. He has a very specific past in a very specific situation. And now I'm going to give a small spoiler. It's the very beginning of the game. So people, if you don't want to hear it, like mute it for a moment. But it is the very beginning of the game. The protagonist of the game, at the beginning of the story, he moves to Tokyo because he basically stops a girl from being harassed from a tag guy or something like that. And you could say, oh yeah, that's something a girl do as well. And yeah, I guess it could, but it's probably more appropriate for a male protagonist. But even if it's not, but the fact is that there is a lot of things in the linked to the fact that he's male. Like for instance, he moves to Tokyo, and he moves to Tokyo because to the attic of an old creepy geezer guy that if he was a female, I bet a ton of people would have like had a ton of problems with that.
Yeah, he says a few things that are a little tongue in cheek. The store owner definitely
exactly like he is typical old creepy like womanizing guy. So if it was a female moving to this attic by herself, I bet people would have had trouble with that. So yeah, definitely. The fact that he's male, if you the more you make your protagonist generic, the more you'll have to make the story generic.
Yeah.
So and the protagonist of Persona 5 does not have a name, does not speak, but is not a generic protagonist. Is not a blank slate. Not having a voice and not having a name does not make a blank slate.
I've heard him say a few lines. He says a couple.
Well, yeah,
lines.
but I mean, it doesn't have a big like part could be. It doesn't have a big like voice in any way.
Voice role.
But he has a set look, a very set look, and a very set background, and very set way of behaving that ties with the fact that he's a guy. And honestly, we should not always have the option to make our protagonist how we want it. And I'm not just talking about gender. I'm talking about anything, because the more generic a protagonist is, that has to do with any kind of thing of his or her identity. The less his story can be detailed, the less his behavior can be detailed. Just think about it. If Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't like, how many things would have to be different in her personality and her way of acting? She is a girl. She's all girl, and she behaves like a girl should behave. She doesn't behave like a guy. So they couldn't simply make me change the character model and say, oh, now it's a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and the same goes for like Kat in Gravity Rush. The same goes for B2 in Nier Automata. The same goes for all female protagonists, and the same goes for all kind of protagonists that have a set personality, a set story, a set way of behaving. It's not just having a voice. It's not just having a name. It's a lot of subtle things that make the story, and that things derives from who the character is. So you can't make it generic because you lose stuff.
It makes me upset. It makes me upset that that Atlus, as a developer, kind of gets shoved against the wall and are backed against the wall, and it's like, why? Why didn't you include a woman or an option? You know, like, why do you need that? And like, people like demand answers, but essentially, I doubt that Atlus will ever give an answer to that question.
Well, they did. They did today in an interview on Vice, which I'm not going to comment.
You know what?
But
I give up.
He say that
with
basically
Persona franchise, I check out. I'm done. I'll stick with my weeaboo Atlus games like Dungeon Travelers 2 and all that, and my Tears to Tiara, and you guys can have your Persona. All right, big media.
Well, the simple thing, they say that a guy like the character was more like was more like fitting to his backstory as a guy, which I think they actually simplified the answer, because they say that they had a character that moved to Tokyo from the countryside, and that in their eyes fit the guy more. I think that the thing is more about this whole thing that is about the spoiler that I mentioned before than just that. But the fact is that whatever the reason is, developers shouldn't have to justify it. If
No, they
I'm a
shouldn't.
developer and I want to write a guy, I can write a guy, and I don't need to justify it with anyone. If I want to write a girl, I can write a girl, and I shouldn't need to justify it. If I want to write a rainbow colored pony, I should be able to write that. I would be ridiculous, but I should be still be able to do it.
Here's
Whatever
my
it is, I mean,
right.
what?
Here's my issue, and I don't have a huge opinion on the matter. I think just let the developers make the story you want, and if you want to see more females in video game as protagonists, then go ahead and make those games yourself. I would love to buy them.
There you go.
That's just as
Yeah,
simple as I
You're
can make
absolutely
it.
right.
Me too. I mean,
Don't.
I absolutely. Someone actually, I actually wrote that, and someone told me, well, you should be, it should be. It's very nice for you to have the vast majority of the gaming industry catering to your tastes.
Italians?
And no. That's, yeah,
The
it's
thing
not that.
that
I mean,
comes down to
wait,
this is what they want.
wait. The simple fact is that yes, the vast majority of the gaming industry caters to my taste. Actually, all the gaming industry caters to my taste. You know why? Because I enjoy the protagonist, whatever the gender is. So yeah, the whole gaming industry, at least I don't think they ever brought up a character of a gender that's not catering to my taste. So yeah, it's very good for me. It's very convenient for me to have the whole gaming industry catering to my taste because it doesn't make a difference for me. And
Well, that's the thing. These people
I
want
enjoy
every
character.
game to have that checklist of female, trans, gay, lesbian. They want it all. And if it's not in there, they're going to make the developer explain it. But such as with BioWare, not then their little thing that they apologized for today. I get it. Yeah, we everyone gets it that but they're trying, and even when they try, they get crucified, and then after they have to apologize again, and it's just this ongoing thing with all these developers, and they're trying to push their morals onto Persona. Well, Atlus has other games. Shin Megami Tensei game has male protagonists. No one says shit about that. Dungeon Travelers 2, you see monster girls half naked.
It's
No
just
one says
because
shit about that.
it's popular.
But
Well, no,
Persona,
wait. People do say that. People do
no,
say
the
stuff
only
about
the only
that.
Sorry, I feel awful for BioWare. You just brought that BioWare situation up because, and I might be in the minority of this opinion, and I doubt I am, but like, I don't mind, of course, having trans
oh
characters or
yeah,
trans
yeah, no,
leads.
definitely.
I think for a
Who
developer,
minds? I mean,
yeah,
great.
yeah, I think for a developer though, to make a game where they can show that without being obscenely direct about it, kind of like how it's complained about now, I think that's almost impossible because how do you work that organically into a story unless we're
You
talking about
can.
like
You
I
can. There is a
You
way.
can, but it's gonna
I
take.
think they actually went like, for instance, a good example is The Last of Us. That was very
that
well
was
done.
very well
It
done.
wasn't a trans thing. It wasn't a trans. It was
Oh,
a
I
gay
knew
character.
she was a lesbian from the
But
second I laid my eyes on her.
Yeah, but still, but it wasn't. Maybe you knew because you have rather something, but it was very well made. I mean, you can, but the
I think
problem is that
sexuality.
they wanted to be. Maybe they wanted to be direct because they wanted to give a message. Whatever the reason is, they shouldn't have to apologize for that.
I think sexuality is a lot easier to portray than uh, necessarily being trans. I think that's much harder to show in a game without either being direct or without a long dive into the character's background. So I do feel for BioWare where I think that is a tough.
Well,
Well,
they're
maybe they should have. You know,
they're taking steps. They're taking
Yeah,
proper steps to
the
get.
problem with that character is that it was a token.
Yeah, it was.
Like
That's why it was
let's
wrong.
like if you want to do it right, you do it on an important character, which you can spend the time to get to know that character.
Yeah, Mass Effect has a lot of issues
Yeah,
that they
but
need to be focused on. Other than,
that's my opinion. But that doesn't mean that Bioware needs to do that, or that I'm going to be angry if they don't. They tried and they did what they thought it was right. They brought the character like they thought it was interesting, and that's fine. That's absolutely okay. I think people are getting too sensitive about everything. Like I don't know now you can't even make a commercial with a positive message like the Pepsi one, and people get all up in flames because now protests are sacred. You can't touch protests. That I saw that commercial. I was like positive message. It was a message of like
very
being
good,
nice
very
to
good
each
commercial.
other.
I hate the
it
Kardashians.
was cheesy as fuck. It was fuck. That's the problem. But it was trying to give a positive message. I don't see the problem with that. They say that they appropriated these other protests, but they wasn't any imagery of that protest. But I don't know. People are getting too sensitive, and they should probably try to take a step back, according to me. Like
it comes down to even all these issues that we're talking about with video games, and it comes down to is we want to be upset about something. As gamers, we want to feel included. We want to pick a side, and we want our side to win.
I don't.
If I'm on the side of I agree with Atlus's Twitch streaming policies. I want that to be the right side, you know. I want that. I want my opinion on that.
It's okay. You're fine. It's fine. It's fine to be wrong. You can be wrong. Yeah. You're authorized.
No, I don't think anyone is wrong in the situation. I think everybody's opinion deserves to be heard.
No one is wrong.
Nobody
some
wants
people
to
are
hear.
Dumb and some are.
Nobody wants to hear. No one wants to go on a comment section and have a decent political debate back and forth about an issue that they have. Nobody's going to change any minds, you know. Like nobody's going to the comment section open-minded about Persona 5 or the way that they
people
characters.
Changing mind. I've seen people changing their mind in comment section. Sometimes it happens.
Very rarely. But my take on Persona 5 is it's they wanted to tell a story. Let's let them tell it. You know.
Yeah, definitely. That's my take for everything. If they want to take a story, and especially if you have but that's the thing with Bioware too. Bioware has been a driving force of representation. So if you are on the side of representation, and you should not bite back at the very people that try their hardest to represent you. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably not going to do it again.
I'm sorry. That's dumb.
They have to. They have the reputation. I don't think they have the choice to back away from it.
I don't really buy Bioware games, so.
I do.
I did.
Because I like them. Well, let's say that I used to like them a lot more than what I like them now. But I still like them. Like, I still enjoy Mass Effect Andromeda.
Lou, I think
we're going long in the tooth here. Let's move into the upcoming games this week. And I do have a handy list. So, starting today, April 5th, we have Paradigm coming out on PC. Also, Talent Not Included for Xbox One. Blackwood Crossing, PC and Xbox One. I believe the PS4
we have an
version's
interview.
already out. We have an interview, and we're reviewing that. The review should be up soon. I believe Ryan's writing that. Tomorrow, we have Stellaris Utopia for PC, Ira for PC, Graceful Explosion Machine for Nintendo Switch, European Universalis 4 Mandate of Heaven for PC.
Europa.
Oh, did I say European? Oh.
He probably wrote.
No, I did write Europa, so that's all on me. Pinball Breakout for 3DS, Animal Gods
Woo!
for Wii U, a Wii U game. What the hell? April 7th,
Yeah.
we've got Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, and that review will be out hopefully tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try my best to finish it tonight, and if not, the next day. Uh,
Woo!
Eliosi's Hunt for PC as well. On the 10th, we have the Signal from Tolva coming to PC. And on the 11th, we have Ukulele for PC, PS4, Xbox One. That review's out. We gave it a 7.5. Go check it out. Also, Cosmic Star Heroine for PC, PS4, Vita. Starblood Arena for PS4. A Rose in the Twilight, another review we've covered for PC and Vita. That got an 8.5. Jordan Leffler's for our site's first review. Go look at that. Um, Also, Symphony of the Machine, PC, PS4, Crawl, PC, PS4, Arrow, sure, PC,
Got
PS4,
it.
Xbox One,
I
Skyforge,
have no idea.
we're doing a preview/review for that for PS4, Snow Moto Racing Freedom, PC, PS4, and Kiro Blaster for PS4. It's actually a pretty busy week as far as everything goes.
Yeah, but it's a ton
And
of
I-
games that I have no idea what they are.
I just want to say that my game of the year, my personal game of the year, 2017, is already out. It's Miko Mole,
Oh yeah, I heard.
and it's on the
Yeah,
Wii
we
U.
heard that you
Just-
love it.
Just dropped on the Wii U.
Let's see if I can
please.
find the trailer real quickly
Please
so I
check
can just
it
link
out.
it.
He's
Um,
joking.
So is anyone planning on getting? I know we're all caught up in clearly Persona, but is anyone picking up a game from this list?
I'm getting the Twilight,
Rose in the Twilight.
Rose in the Twilight game.
I
Um,
heard
Yeah, I'm passing on that one.
it's like HTOL #NIQ the Firefly Diary, except
It
with
is.
all the bad parts gone.
It's Hatoro no Niki.
I don't care. I know it's actually Hatoro and Niki. I put that in my review. I went deep in that. We have, for those who don't know, we have very different opinions, Azario and I, on that game. But anyway,
Uh,
do you have something you want to say, Giuseppe?
yeah. Interestingly, no, I forgot. But
Okay.
oh yeah,
Um,
sorry. Tomorrow they finally revealing the Scorpio.
Oh yes.
So-
All right. So we'll talk price.
2 minutes, very 2 minutes.
Last 2
we're not gonna
minutes.
talk about it. I'm just going to put for the posterity, each one of our predictions for the price.
It's
I
closest
start
without
at
going over.
$4.99. $4.99.
I'm gonna go $4.49.
and I'm gonna
Azario?
go $3.99.
Ooh. Get out of here.
And I'm gonna say,
Have you even heard? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, here it is. You heard it here first. Blue Dragon 2 confirmed.
Azario, have you even heard how many teraflops are in these things?
Have you drunk? Have you drunk something tonight?
Blue
I
Dragon
mean,
2 running on 6 teraflops.
Yeah, sure. First of all, like okay, we just gonna end with this one. Okay, not gonna even comment on this one. Let's go.
All right. We'll
Yeah,
see who's right.
We got our predictions out. We see what was right. Of course, I'm gonna be right. I was right on the Switch as well.
We'll see who's right next week. It's closest without going over. All right. So social media sites.
If they say the price, of course. If they say the price,
Assured.
assured.
Social media and site plugs. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by just looking up DualShockers. If you're looking for us on YouTube, it's a little different. It's DSTV Originals. Meanwhile, if you're finding us on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/DualShockers Live. We try to be here every Wednesday at 8:30. If you don't catch us there,
Right.
we also have the podcast, which we love that you listen to. Thanks for everyone listening to us there.
Next week is gonna be all about the Scorpio, so we're prepared about that, and we're
Yeah.
going to have all the details and all the discussion. For now, you just have the price and see what it is. $3.99. That was funny.
$3.99. And then a price
Okay.
drop for the Xbox One S to $199.
Okay, we'll see.
That's ballsy. Finally, you can find our round-the-clock news coverage, reviews, features, editorials over at DualShockers.com. We list a lot of editorials and a lot of reviews, so go check those out.
And interviews.
Also, do we still have the Tukinen giveaway up, Giuseppe?
I think no.
What? Which one?
Tweak it in.
The
Tweak it
Tukinen.
in too.
Do we have that giveaway still up?
Giveaway.
Tokiden. What the fuck?
I thought it was
How
Tweakiden.
do you say it?
Tweakiden.
Tweakoden? What?
Like
Fuck
tweakers.
you. Let's go.
Is
Tokiden.
the giveaway still up?
You animals. Yeah, I mean, you review that thing. It's
And I've
Tokiden.
been calling it wrong this entire time.
Yeah, it's Tokiden 2, and yes, it's the winner is going to be drawn to in just a few hours.
All right, so
Ah.
go right now. You're listening on the Twitch. Everyone go and fill this out. If you're not part of this, I mentioned we're doing Loot Rascals, and we
Cool.
have a lot of those codes. But that'll
Okay.
be later. All right, so if you're finding us on Twitter, I'm over at Luke and Taldi. Azario, where can they find you?
You can find me at Azario Says.
and you can find Giuseppe over at
I'm gonna
Tweakidin too.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my Twitter to Tweakoden, like written tweak.
Tweakidin.
All right.
Okay, Twinkedin.
Thanks everyone for watching. We're gonna go into the music.
Yeah, and please, everyone, check my profile on Twinkedin.
All right. Bye everyone. Into the music. I think. There it is.